Hello and welcome. This is video number 2, and in this video we are going to discuss letters, and I've decided to just do informal letters today. For formal letters, I'm going to make another video. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and show you the lovely PowerPoint that I made. Okay, so here we go. Now, letter writing. I always have this thing between letters and emails. And for me, of course, emails are really convenient because they're much faster. They reach the recipient very fast, almost in an instant, at the same instant. But letters have their own charm. So I think that letters, for me, they're the best means of communication if you really want to get something, I mean, if you want to share your feelings or emotions, I think letters do a much better job because they have a personal touch to it. Emails, on the other hand, are really fast, and we really use a lot of emails these days because they're just faster, but emails definitely lack personal touch. So letter writing, I think, will always remain very, very important. And that's why you need to know how to write letters. All right, so in this video, we'll be discussing informal letters. Now, remember that informal letters are written to members of the family or near relatives, close friends, or people you know, acquaintances, like your neighbors, for example. All right, now let's go through the format of an informal letter. So see, there are lots of formats. There are many formats. You could write the address on the right-hand side and then the date also on the right-hand side, and then you begin your salutation on the left. I follow a very simple rule. Everything indented to the left, everything towards the left, and that keeps it so simple. So I've got the writer's address, so you can write your address. Don't forget to put the commas after each line of the address and a full stop at the end of the last line. Then leave a line just to keep it neat and clean. Write the date, all right? And then you have your salutation. That is you address the person to whom you're writing the letter. You have an opening sentence. OS stands for opening sentence. You have 3 paragraphs. I would keep it 2 to 3 paragraphs for the body of your letter. And then you have a closing sentence. That's the CL. You have the leave taking, which is like your sister or your loving friend or yours sincerely. And then you have your name. So please remember that in an informal letter, you just need to mention your first name. That will be sufficient. We'll go through a few details about the informal letter. The date of the letter, for example. Use these 2 formats to write the date of the letter. All right, try not to abbreviate it by using numbers which indicate only the month, day, and the year. So you're not going to do it this way, 7/5/2013. Please make sure that you write it in these 2 formats. Of course, lots of formats are used these days, but the first 2 are the best. Then you have the salutation. So you could say, my dear Emily, or dear Mrs. Agarwal, if you're writing to your acquaintance or to your neighbor, my dear sister, or my dear Jolly, or my dear Sandeep, things like that. All right. Normally we just use dear these days. A few examples of opening sentences. How are you doing? Or how have you been? So dear Jolly, how are you doing? How have you been? How can I ever thank you for? It depends upon the subject of your letter, of course. Or congratulations on winning your first trophy. Or if it's a somber letter, I was deeply shocked to learn of your accident. There's a mistake here. Learn of your accident, right? Not learn your accident, but learn of your accident. Then you have the body of the letter. Please remember, in the body of the letter, use at least 2 to 3 paragraphs, all right? The closing sentences, a few examples. I hope you can come, or have a wonderful day. Hope to hear from you soon. Please write back, or do remember me to your parents. Don't hesitate to write to me if there's anything else I can do. All right, and then your subscription or leave taking, you could write your loving friend or daughter, son, niece, nephew, uncle, etc., or yours sincerely. All right, if you're using yours sincerely, please check the spelling carefully, right? Sincerely, right? Please do not make a spelling mistake there. And please mention only your first name. You don't need to mention your full name. For example, you just say your loving friend Deepak or yours sincerely Rita, right? You don't need to write your surname. Now let's have a look at the question that was asked in the specimen paper 2019. So you're advised to spend not more than 20 minutes on this question, and you have to select one of the following. Of course, I've just taken A, but the B question was a formal letter. This I'll do in another video, but you just need to select one of the letters. Remember, you're given a choice between formal letters and informal letters. So this is what your informal letter was about. So it's like your friend has been sick. I'll just remove my camera here. Your friend has been sick and has been unable to attend school for 2 weeks. An inter-school drama competition took place during this period. So write a letter to your friend telling him or her about the event and your role in it. Now, what I like to do is to break up the question so that I don't miss out on any elements. So who are you writing to? Your friend. What's happened to your friend? He has been sick and he has not been able to attend school for 2 weeks. So these are important details. And also what has happened is that during these 2 weeks, an inter-school drama competition took place. So you're required to write a letter to your friend, all right, telling him or her, could be a girlfriend and a boyfriend, telling him or her about the event, that is about the inter-school drama competition, and your role in it. So you've played a role in it. So remember, do not miss out on any details. I would make a plan like this and keep ticking it off once I have mentioned it in my letter. So I just started writing this letter. And oops, sorry. And so I started off with the address. Everything to the left, you can see Homestead Farm, Street number 10, Nainital. And I've put the date, and the salutation is Dear Sally. So I'm writing to my girlfriend, Sally. So my opening sentence is, how have you been keeping? I hope this letter finds you in better health and spirits. Don't forget your friend is sick, not attended school for 2 weeks. So I've mentioned that you've been home for 2 weeks now and I've missed you all this time. I hope you'll be able to attend school soon. So if you look back, I have mentioned, of course, my friend Sally, she's been sick. She's not been able to attend school. And I've mentioned the 2 weeks here, right? So then I start off with the second paragraph of the body. There is something I want to share with you. It's about the inter-school drama competition we had been so excited about. Well, it took place last week and I had to take on your role in the play. I wasn't prepared for it, but I thought that I'd be doing my duty as a friend. At least I can say that I tried my best. Now, the third paragraph I'll leave for you to complete, right? So you can think of something. You can describe the whole event and you could say something more about your role, the role that you played in the event. And then my closing sentence is, I can't wait to hear from you. Do remember me to your parents and give Bruno a pet for my side. Your best friend, Molly. Your best friend, Molly. So that's the leave taking. And of course, you just mentioned your first name. All right. So remember, please check. Have I answered the question? Have you mentioned all the important elements in your letter? Please make sure that you have, right? Have I done what I was asked to do? Is my writing appropriate? Have I used informal language, not used very formal language? Is it relevant? That is relevant means, have I mentioned all the points? Have I really answered the question, what is asked me to do? Am I getting through to the reader? Is my writing put well together? That is, have I left lines between paragraphs? I've got a opening sentence, then I have 3 paragraphs in the body of my letter, and then I have a closing sentence, things like that. Is it the correct length? Of course, what was funny in an ICSE paper is that you're not asked, you're not prescribed a word range. You're not asked to write, so many words in a letter. So just remember to keep to the structure. You don't need to count the number of words here. Is my writing logical and ordered, right? So try and use linking words, however, moreover, firstly, secondly, things like that. But yeah, in an informal letter, you could use other linking words. Is your letter organized well, and you have paragraphs in your letter? Have you used a good range of vocabulary and grammar? And have you used them accurately, spelling, punctuation, etc.? Please remember, if you listen, using high sounding bombastic words is not a must. Just use simple everyday language, but make sure you use it correctly. If you know a few good words, advanced vocabulary, you may use it, but you have to make sure that you know how to use it. Don't just use it because you have to use it. No, then you make a mistake if you don't know how to use the word. All right, so I hope this was clear to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can email me, and please do answer this question, complete the third paragraph, and let me, I'm very curious to see how you have written this letter. All the best and take care.